If you want to work with horses to help people, the EAGALA model is an awesome opportunity.
Equine therapy, I believe, is an important therapeutic tool.
I think when people experience it, when treatment professionals see it, when clients experience it, people are amazed.
The thing that I would stress with mental health professionals is the power behind this kind of therapy in bringing up the issues as quickly as they do.
I think 2 or 3 of the people that I interviewed said to me, if it wasn't for this experience, I wouldn't have been alive. I would have tried to commit suicide again.
Equine-assisted psychotherapy is where horses are incorporated in mental health treatment for people. EAGALA is the Equine-Assisted Growth and Learning Association. Through that, we provide resources and education and support for professionals who do equine-assisted psychotherapy.
EAGALA is dedicated to educating and training professionals, both equine specialists and mental health professionals, in providing the service of equine-assisted psychotherapy.
If you guys want to turn, you can see that there's a small jump in the middle of the arena, and that will be your obstacle. And the object is to get your values to go across your obstacle. Have you got an obstacle that you would like for the team to work on today?
Yeah, I'd like to work on thorough, honest communication.
Okay.
It's interesting that Shandy lowered the jump without conferring with the rest of them.
There was some feedback about this experience.
Her ears would pin back, then come forward, then one would come out to the side. I was trying to figure out what she was trying to tell me.
They're able to mirror what the clients are feeling. They're able to react to the clients, and that gives us a lot of information. The clients are a lot more willing to take that feedback from the horse and take it to the next level with, how can I change my life?
How Skunk operated with you, how does that relate to your goal of having authentic and honest communication?
My patience was starting to get really tested, and sometimes I get so task-oriented. It's bark orders or, hey, let's get this done, rather than, hey, enlist some help, share why it needs to get done, and move from there. And so to sit quietly and not interact that much, rather observe and listen was hard for me.
Well, I think what it brings up that you might not see in a non-equine session is that, you can see how they actually solve the problem right in the moment, in the here and the now.
EAGALA has thousands of members around the world. This model seems to cross cultures and languages. The horses seem to speak a universal language in helping people change their lives.
I've been interested in the use of horses as a therapeutic tool for some years now. It's been established in America for some time, and I thought it was about time that the Priory Hospital could actually be involved in such treatment programs.
I've been looking at the use of horses in therapy for a long time now, probably the last 10 years, and EAGALA to me is kind of the model that I think is going to be most useful for working with horses.
I think the EAGALA model is particularly useful in terms of structure. It also gives us a clear safety profile, having 2 therapists in the menage at the same time, one focused on the horses and the other one focused on the therapy side with the patients, can be particularly useful.
I think people with mental health problems sometimes they're so unwell that even sitting in a therapy room, it's really hard to really get to what's going on for them. And when they're with the horses, the horses are galloping around, everything's so alive that they really suddenly realise and become more aware of what they're doing in themselves. I think they generally feel really positive, which a lot of therapies I'm not sure people do feel that positive about.
You can't force a horse to do anything it doesn't want to do, so it's about negotiation. And to me that seemed to be particularly useful when talking about addiction.
A lot of what we're doing with the activities is just creating a representation of what's happening in their lives, and then they have a chance to go through it, work with the horses, and learn patterns and beliefs that are coming up for them currently, and then find new ways that are going to work better for them in their lives.
Okay, so what we're going to have you do today, Lori, is go ahead and you'll set up 4 different areas anywhere in the arena where you choose, and which will represent your transitional areas in your life.
When we think about equine-assisted psychotherapy, and for me as a mental health professional, and the value of that, when you think about metaphoric learning, that breaks through a lot of the defenses that would normally be there otherwise if a person is sitting in the office and talking. You finished setting up the 4 areas that represent transitions in your life, Lori? What we'd like you to do now is you've got 3 horses, to place those horses in the transition area that fits for each of them and have them stay there.
Okay. Basically, I was given the assignment to, lead one horse into, a different box. The boxes represented transition, whether it be home or, different program or different transition.
We believe that our clients have the best solutions for themselves. And so a lot of what we're doing out there with these activities with the horses is giving them that opportunity to work through the things that they're dealing with and to find what's going to be most effective for them.
In the session, I was backing Stanley up, and he was lending out a lot of trust. And with my dad, I've lost a lot of his trust, and it's kind of like gaining that back, which is just like with my dad, I have to gain that back.
Part of it is bringing it back to the relevance and the power of having the horses as part of the treatment. Because she identified relationships as an issue in her life and needing to develop trust. Again, we could sit in the office and talk about that, but what was so powerful is with the first horse she was working with, we got to see that she tried several different approaches to try and convince him to get into that first transition box that she had built. So many things come up that are relevant even in the first 2 minutes.
Don't let them distract you. They're distracting me. Don't let them distract you.
Lori, why don't you start off by just telling us what happened out there for you?
Okay. At first I was kind of unsure of myself, of what to do, and I just kind of pieced it together not to overcomplicate it and just relax, and I didn't let the other horses distract me from what I was doing. In my past I've had a ton of distractions. I've had negative friends, I've had drugs that have, come into my path, and just losing my whole sight of my goals and my future, and my whole hopes for myself just go down the drain due to distractions.
You've identified issues about trust and boundaries and distractions, and those are things we can continue to work on.
Thank you.
EAGALA is there to help raise the standard and really help professionals who do this work to provide the best services we can provide.
The EAGALA method is a highly professional, organized structure.
I enjoy the opportunity of just kind of, leaving it open for them to be able to direct the process wherever they need to be.
Yeah, what draws me personally is having firsthand experience with it. When I see a group of veterans that have been shut down both physically and emotionally, haven't left the house for years, haven't had a smile on their face, and they come out to the farm and in 2 sessions are actually standing up straight, have a smile on their face, are communicating with the other people in the group. That's why I am drawn to this work.